2020 was an exceptional year across the globe, and for Singapore, it is no exception. We saw circuit breaker measures coming into Singapore to curb transmission of the pandemic. So for 7 April till 18 of June, show flats were shut and physical viewings of properties were prohibited. Now, nonetheless, for an industry that has not been very well known for innovation, developers and property agents actually adapted to the pandemic rather well. So the town was full of virtual viewings, and the opportunities came for developers to showcase not only virtual tours but videos of their properties online. During this period of time, we saw a spike in property transactions gradually from May and then subsequently in June, when phase 2 safe transitioning took place. We saw that demand uptick in the private residential property market. Now, this is probably aided by the fact that there were 50,000 HDB flats achieving its minimum occupation period this year and the next. And some 20,000 of these flats have already achieved the minimum occupation period and found their way into the resale market. And that explains why in the quarter 3 of 2020, we saw a huge transaction volume in the HDB resale market. Very unprecedented, and in fact, this is a 10-year high in terms of the transaction volume we saw in the HDB resale market. And what this means for the private residential property market is that there will be upgraders who wish to buy into the private residential property market. We saw new launches, take-up rate increasing, and developers' launches were well received by these upgraders, particularly in the outside central region and the rest of central region. In fact, 60% of the transactions so far in these regions accounted for the total volume of transactions in Singapore this year. So this year, it is very likely that we will end the year with some 9,500 to 9,700 units of new launch sales being purchased by upgraders and those who are genuine buyers. The Singapore government has ensured that there is no speculative element in the property market through years of cooling measures being implemented. And so what we see in the market right now are genuine buyers, buyers who have the financial ability to purchase, and they are looking out for their choice homes. And many of them are finding their best property buys during this period of time because mortgage home loan interest rates are also at an all-time low. Despite the havoc caused by the pandemic across the world and the economic uncertainty that is before us, we can continue to be hopeful and optimistic about the property market in Singapore, looking back at the year 2020 and the resilience of the market going forth in 2021. The Singapore government is calibrating all its housing policies to ensure availability and accessibility of property to all citizenry in the market. And as such, we can look forward to 2021 with optimism.